We don't see Asian point guards. How much of the fact that he is Asian weighs into this whole insanity craze that we're witness to?
I think it helps, but the fact is he is a good basketball player. 6'3", he's aggressive. He's playing basketball in the NBA right now because he belongs in the NBA. He was cut by Golden State because he was behind Steph Curry and Monte Ellis. The Rockets were trying to get rid of somebody else for Samuel Dalembert. That's what it was. It was a numbers game. He's in the right system. But the Asian part, when I was at the Garden Friday night, I saw somebody with a Lynn jersey. I asked him, where'd you get that? Because you couldn't buy any T-shirts inside the souvenir shop. Said he went to NBAstore.com and ordered a shirt, or ordered a jersey, custom-made a Lynn one, because the person was Asian and he wanted somebody to identify with, especially the fact that he's playing in New York. I don't think it's a novelty act and everybody's saying, oh, because he's Asian, that's why he's getting so much pub. He's getting pub because he's in New York, he's with the Knicks, and because he's balling right now. You drop 38 on the Lakers, everybody knows your name right now.
But the Asian factor doesn't hurt.
It doesn't hurt, and it also helps out, though. The fact that he went to Harvard is a big thing.
Yeah.
He went to Asian. He's breaking down stereotypes right now. Now there's kids who play AAU ball, but they're always told, you know, you're the Asian kid, you're not going to go play something else at 12, 13. Now they have a role model. Okay. Myself, I'm a big Mark Sanchez fan with the Jets. Why? Because I identify with him. Southern California, he's Mexican. We eat the same kind of food, speak the same kind of language. Sure. That's what it is. You want to root for somebody you identify with right now. For Latinos, Mark Sanchez in the NFL. I think for Asians, Jeremy Lin. No matter what kind of Asian you are, you're rooting for him. But I think the Lin story is just a cool story no matter what.
I think it's a major factor. It's not the only reason, as you said, Beto, but it's a big factor. And let's just keep in mind, we've seen Asian players in the league before.
But they didn't speak English to you.
I was just going to say, Yao Ming, Yi Jianlan. We've seen these guys, but Asian American. So he is an Asian American who speaks English. That's a big factor, too. You can identify with him even more. And then you add the underdog thing. An Ivy Leaguer. An Ivy Leaguer who wasn't drafted, cut by 2 teams, coming to New York, Madison Square Garden, all the hype. So I think it absolutely is. And I don't see anything negative about it whatsoever.
No. Call me crazy, which wouldn't be the first time. I don't think race has much of anything to do with it, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, a certain segment of the population has been energized, you know, by seeing an Asian American perform this way.
I think it's contradicted yourself.
No, I think the underdog part is why this is such a big story, because it's a human story. I mean, the couch, sleeping on Landry Field's couch,
right?
You know, getting cut, being Ivy League. All Americans, anybody can relate to somebody defying the odds and being on the end of the bench, almost getting cut before his contract is guaranteed. Whether you white, black, or other, whatever you are, you can relate to somebody that did not give up and was told he wasn't good enough.
Well, reports had it he was about to be cut from the Knicks.
Yes, he was.
That's what I'm saying. And the guy can ball. In the system, man. Like, he's in a system where the pick and roll is paramount, and he runs that like nobody's business. He's smart, and he's all about the team. You ask him about that. That's the only Tebow comparison there is. If you're going to connect these two things,
but he took 24 shots in his worst game Saturday night.
Yeah.
Okay, now they ended up winning the game, and he had a great drive, was fouled with big free throws at the end. But 1 of 12, he took Skip. I can hear Skip's voice.
He took some bad shots.
Is he going to become a negative product of all of this hype and publicity? He's been in the spotlight. He's been the guy. Now he's about to get the real guy back.
Oh, because he's humble.
No, he's very humble.
This kid's makeup.
He understands his role.
Yes.
Okay.
He understands his role.
But, Mike, this is what I don't understand.
But his role Saturday night was not to shoot 24 times, and he did.
The question was, how much does race factor into this at all? And you just said he has energized a segment of the population.
Right, but that's not why this story is taking over.
But it's a big part of the story. I mean, you look at some people who have written about it very well. I saw a piece in the New York Times a couple of days ago that's been passed around, been retweeted and all this stuff. People are really excited by the fact that you have an Asian American,
don't get me wrong, but you have an Asian American
emerging star who speaks English.
There you go. Asian. I don't know about emerging star yet, but
let me ask you this. Let's play a game here. Let's list adjectives about the story, okay? And where does Asian slot in for you? What's your first word? Underdog? New York?
New York.
Oh, yeah. First word is Harvard.
Okay.
Harvard guy, right.
Underdog.
Underdog.
It was a Rocket
New York.
But Harvard
Asian
underdog
is in the mix.
goes into the same thing in sports.
Interesting though, the words we threw out, underdog, New York.
Yeah. Second is good.
Yeah, baller.
Yes.
You know, you're going to throw some things in there, and then it's part of the story.
Yeah.
Asian.
To me, it's a
but you can't forget
no
about
one has
that
it
story.
1, 2, or maybe some people might have it in their top 3 when they're describing him.
Yeah,
but
I just think there's no reason to run away from it. It's not
No,
like
it's
we're
not a
saying
negative.
anything.
It's not a negative,
Nothing
no.
bad about it.
It's great for the game.
Hey,
This is a worldwide game, 'cause
How,
now-
much, how much added pressure will he feel being the face of an entire segment of our population now who they're looking, people that didn't watch the NBA before, and Tim Tebow had this effect with his religion on football,
Yeah.
people that didn't pay attention to the NBA before are now grabbing box scores or watching highlights because they want to see how Lynn did. How much will that pressure affect him moving forward?
Pressure is not knowing if you're going to be on the roster. He's the way he's come from and what this kid's about, he shares the same faith as Tim Tebow. This kid is ready for this moment.
Pressure is not going to affect Jeremy Lin. When you go and get cut twice, you play in the D-League, you're doing something people tell you you're not even supposed to be there.
Sure.
He's used to this. He also led his high school team to a state championship in Palo Alto, beating
One at every level.
every single level. He averaged 30 at Harvard. Getting into Harvard is probably harder than getting into the NBA, I think, right now.
Yeah, I
the
think
way
he'd have more. I think he'd have more pressure if he were the star of the team.
Yeah.
They didn't have anybody else, and you're talking about a bad team, and they're coming to see Jeremy Lin.
He
They
is
don't have
a star
anybody else.
now.
But this is a team that has Amari Stoudemire,
Yeah.
Carmelo Anthony.
So they're